seeing more and more women these days that are choosing to stay single and they don't want to get married. And when you sort of speak to them, you come to the realization it's because they have lost trust in men.
Researchers identified several reasons why more and more women are choosing not to get married, including infidelity, increasing career opportunities, independence, a desire for independence.
It feels as though marriages have always been the responsibility of women to sustain.
100%.
Where
studies have shown that single childless women live longer, and I do believe that.
I don't really believe in marriage. Not in modern day, at least, because I would say that the majority of the time, it doesn't work out. And even when it doesn't end in divorce, it ends in absolutely hating and resenting each other towards the end of life.
The reason why women are choosing to stay single and choosing to not get married is because they've realized that men naturally are not good people.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Guys, if you're new to my channel, my name is Miracle, and on this channel we add to a lot of social issue. So today we are going to be checking out some of this top topic on social media. So recently a lot of women have chose not to give a F about men again, so we are going to be listening to a lot of people. Let's go and see the reason why some girls be like they don't want men again.
it feels as though marriages have always been the responsibility of women to sustain.
100%.
When we think about all the things that marriage is supposed to provide us, security, safety, a sense of, just a sense of identity, you would think that as marriage is posed as something that's around partnership, the reality is for a lot of women, both in their personal experience, but also just socially and the conversations that we have, it feels like women have to do extra to keep this marriage sustaining. Women have to be obviously the, caretakers. They have to be the nucleus of the family. They need to hold it down when things are happening, and men, go off to conquer the land and all of these kind of things. And it's tiring, especially when it feels as though women are now affording themselves security, affording themselves the side of the bargain that traditionally men were supposed to provide. And if there is no negotiation, because marriage is supposed to be about negotiation, constant negotiation, if there is no negotiation, then it really feels as though marriage is a loss to women. And I think of some of the most recent statistics and thinking about like male loneliness and how well they do in marriage. But then when you look at the statistics for women in marriage, a lot of women in long-term relationships, statistically speaking, are actually less happy. They're unhappy. Good. They are more likely to suffer from, mental health issues. They are more likely to feel overwhelmed. They are more likely to feel frustrated.
I know the TikTok sheikhs are going to come for my neck, but I don't really believe in marriage. Not in modern day, at least, because I would say that the majority of the time it doesn't work out. And even when it doesn't end in divorce, it ends in absolutely hating and resenting each other towards the end of life. And the reality is that in most marriages, women get the short end of the stick. Like, women are the ones who have to sacrifice their careers, their health, their well-being to take care of their husband and the children. And in modern days, a lot of women are still working at the same time as doing all of that other stuff that has always been an obligation for women. I'm not like a psychopath, so there's still a part of me that like craves it. Like, I yearn for it, but logically, I just don't really care for it because I don't think that it's gonna benefit me, honestly. I feel like it's actually going to stunt my growth. It's going to stunt my career. It's just going to stunt me in so many ways, and I'm going to grow to hate that person. I didn't have to be in a marriage to have observed that in literally hundreds of marriages of the people around me. There's also a part of me that's just skeptical about the idea of being with one person for the rest of your life. And because so many people go into marriages with such high expectations, like they think it's going to significantly improve their lives, and then they're like quickly humbled within the first few years of marriage, I just feel like that actually sets people up for even more pain and heartbreak. Because society and just like our families have raised us to glorify marriage or to see it as like our end-all be-all purpose in life. And when you are disappointed by that, it leaves you lost and broken and confused. Yes, there's still a part of me that like yearns for it. I do feel lonely every once in a while, but I know that I'm better off alone. And I'm more so in the mindset of like, if it happens, but it'd have to be like the most ideal situations. Otherwise, I just don't think that it's worth the time and effort and pain. Not to mention, in marriage, a lot of women's needs and their how can I say this without pissing people off? Their desires are very rarely met. There's that aspect of it that actually leaves women feeling very frustrated. And then when they're not satisfied in their marriages, a lot of times the men will then go seek out other women because they can't satisfy their wife. Like, I just can't. Why would I put myself through that? I've seen far too many marriages that have failed, or if they haven't entirely fallen apart, they leave, at least the woman for sure, just feeling so broken and regretful of even getting into the marriage in the first place. Like, most of our moms and aunts and everybody, they're miserable in their marriages and they regret marrying the men that they married. So part of it is also just like the fact that they didn't choose well, but like, that's the reality for most women.
The reason why women are choosing to stay single and choosing to not get married is because they've realized that men naturally are not good people. And they've realized that society would never hold them accountable for anything that they do. It doesn't matter what it is. They just say, well, he's a man. You know how men are. But if women did the same thing, you're called all types of names. See, naturally, women are taught to be so nice and understanding and, you know, give these men grace and nurture these men back to health and all of this nonsense. But what do women get in return? They get pain, chaos, stress, anxiety, depression, broken homes, disease. The list goes on. The list goes on. So now women are realizing, like, if I gotta go through all that just to stay with a man or to get a man, I don't need it. See, it's okay for a man to have sex and have all these kids by multiple women, but when a woman do the same thing, oh, you gotta pick better, you just a hoe. I mean, the list goes on. If a man don't have a high paying job and a woman don't want to deal with that man, oh, she's a gold digger. Or at least he working, at least he's trying. It's men that don't have jobs. But if a woman don't want to work, she's lazy. She wants to live off somebody. It don't make sense. And that's why these women are choosing to buy their own houses, cars, make their own money. There's women that realize they can just use these men for money or sex. And these men are getting angry and they're getting worse because society is not telling them that they are a fuck up. That they are the reason why women are choosing to be on their own. Women are choosing to deal with men accordingly. And men cannot stand it. So what men do, they try to instill fear in women, saying, oh, you're going to die alone. When in reality, it's going to be the men, and it is the men dying alone. Look it up. Men can physically get sick because they're not dealing with women. Because they're lonely. Men are lonely in them nursing homes. Don't nobody visit them. Because all the fuckery that they cause in their early years. But if you put women in a nursing home, there's family that checks on her, that loves her. It's not the same for a man. And that's why these men, they're starting to realize at the age of 50 plus, I'm lonely. I need to settle. It's too late. But if you talk to a woman that's the same age, they're thriving. They be looking younger than the men. Clear skin. Traveling around the world. making way more money than them. And these men are getting angry because they're realizing that these women really don't need them anymore. They may want them, but need, that's not happening. So, like I said, these women, they're choosing. It's a choice. Women can get married. Women can get in relationships. They're women. They're women. But they're choosing not to because they realize men, they're just not good people.
Seeing more and more women these days that are choosing to stay single and they don't want to get married. And when you sort of speak to them, you come to the realization it's because they have lost trust in men. And also it is the fact that they have an education and they are able to provide the lifestyle that they want for themselves without the need for a man. And unfortunately, as men, we don't help ourselves because from what I've seen, a lot of us men, we don't have ambition, we don't work. I'm not saying everyone, but a lot of what I've seen is that they don't work, they don't want to work hard. I know there's many that do, but there's many that don't as well. And they try and to get a woman just to manipulate her and to use her for her money. And women have obviously, unfortunately, they've experienced this and they don't want to experience this because why would you want to? Do you know what I mean? Because it's not going to benefit you in any shape, way or form. A woman is going to want a man that, even if he's struggling at some point in his life, but, someone who's got an education, someone who's ambitious, someone who wants to work, someone who can take the responsibilities and is willing to take the responsibilities, of a child, of a household, is going to support her rather than just drain her like a leech.
The researchers identified several reasons why more and more women are choosing not to get married, including infidelity, increasing career opportunities, independence, a desire for independence, finding it more secure to live with their parents and siblings.
So guys, I want to know what you think in the comment section. Do you think that a lot of people are just following social media trend? On a global level, a lot of women are choosing not to marry. Yes, a lot of women are choosing not to marry. And I feel like if this continue, the birth rate globally will reduce. And if we are talking about marriage and talking about giving birth, talking about everything that have to do with marriage, you know that women are always in disadvantage. This is the reason why when a woman and a man get divorced, it is easier for a man to move on, because at the end of the day, most of these men do not, or did not lose a lot of things because of that marriage. But once a woman gets married, she lose herself, she lose everything, lose her stature, lose her career, lose a lot. So when the marriage fail, starting over again is always very, very hard for women. I feel like this is the reason why, this is the greatest reason why a lot of women choose to be alone, because at the end of everything, a lot of men in this our age, a lot of times they do shit, they do a lot of things that you cannot take. Also, now that a lot of women have seen money, they believe that since I can give myself this life, there's no need to get into marriage. Personally, if you ask me, I feel like the reason why a lot of women marry at all or want to marry is because they want a man to take care of them. This is the reason why when you see a woman who can take care of herself, you don't see her running around men. When you see a woman running around men, paging around men like fly, they are women that cannot take care of themselves. Also, this is the reason why when a woman is in an abusive relationship, instead of leaving that relationship, she won't be able to leave that relationship because she don't have the means to take care of themselves, so she will stay in that relationship. A lot of times, women who stay in an abusive relationship are women who cannot take care of themselves, women who do not have career, women who do not have their own money. And any woman that have her own money, that have career, that can take care of herself, she don't take any nonsense from a man. Immediately you fuck up, they give you divorce immediately. Even if you do not want to divorce, they give you, they will leave the house forcefully. I feel like these days, women are choosing to pursue their career, get money, get degree, do something for themselves instead of getting married. And it is telling on men, and the retaliation we are seeing that men do not want to date again is just a lie. Just a lot. If you go to a lot of channels that are making those kind of videos, you see that the people that push those kind of videos are men. Because at the end of everything, if you put a woman and I put a man and say, don't have sex for 20 years, don't have sex for 2 months, don't have, the people that cannot endure are men. If you put a man and a woman, a normal man, a normal functioning man, that all his organs are okay. If you put him and they put a woman and be like, within this month don't have sex, the one that cannot endure is man. This is the reason why the people who have tendency to grape woman are men, but women do not have that tendency to grape men, because at the end of the day, your sexual libido and their own is not the same. So there's no way anybody can tell me that between man and woman that the man don't need woman. No, it is the other way around. People who don't need, who do not need, who are pushed into that because of society are women. And if you see any woman who have decluttered herself or unchained herself from that society expectation, you see a lot of times they will be like they do not want marriage. Like these days, this is the reason why these days a lot of women are choosing to be single. And also one thing I have seen is that I have seen a lot of women choosing to be not just single, but if they are in marriage, they will be like they do not have children. They do not want to have children. You know, Stephanie, right? Stephanie Sue. Yes, Stephanie So or Sue, yeah. And the one that do true crime, that popular channel, with her Chinese husband. Do you know that they have agreed not to have children? Yeah, Stephanie said that she will not have children based on that thing that Korean women did. Even when she's married to a Chinese man, she still stand on not having children. So I feel like the people who can actually endure and change the narrative of marriage are women, and I stand for it. Honestly, I wish more women would like know what you want. If you want marriage, go for it, but if you don't want marriage, like, yes, build yourself. This is also the reason why I follow more of women that empower women than women that want to make women to learn how to please a man. I follow more channels and more content creators that empower women, because the best thing you can give to any woman is woman empowerment. Make her to be like, you can be on your own, you can stay on your own, you can be independent, you can do it alone. So but I want to know what you think in the comment section. It seems like I have talked too much. I want to know what you think in the comment section. Do not forget to follow me for more content like this. Let me see you in my other video.